Boom.
Welcome back, everyone. This is part 4 of the King's Castle, King James, along with Blair Chopin. And we're gonna switch gears as far as the wrestling is concerned for a second, because we've also got another brand pay-per-view to talk about, and that is the upcoming Clash of Champions pay-per-view from Monday Night Raw.
Is that like Clash of Clans?
No, well, not exactly.
Shout out to
Clash of Champions means that every Raw Championship will be up for grabs in one night. So, some interesting things have occurred as of this past Monday Night on Raw, including we now know that Sasha Banks is officially the number 1 contender for Charlotte and the Raw Women's Championship, because she had to survive a triple threat match against Bayley and Dana Brooke to earn that victory. But I gotta say, I think it was a good idea for them to have that match just to see who would win it fair and square. But if you ask me, Bayley also deserves to be in this match, because the week before, Bayley pinned Charlotte in the middle of the ring.
Right.
So, in my opinion, they made a mistake by giving the match to Sasha so early. What do you make of this?
Well, so obviously Sasha Banks coming to Raw was a big deal, right?
Right.
People were very excited and everything, and I think they wanted...
They call her the boss, so it makes sense.
So it's kind of a short-term planning versus a long-term planning thing, right? So they saw Sasha Banks come back, and, she's a star.
Yeah.
People went wild, and they knew that if they put her in title contention, that could be an immediate boost to their women's division.
Right.
They have a lot of momentum in the women's division. But to your point, James, I see the way you're thinking. Also, why not? We know Sasha's a superstar. Why not build the other superstars as well and give them the chances they deserve?
Right. Because
so I see it both ways.
But what I'm saying here is Bayley, like I said last week, Bayley pinned Charlotte in the middle of the ring. So if you ask me, the match,
she deserves the shot.
The number 1 contenders match that they had on Raw between her, Sasha, and Dana wasn't really fair, because, in my opinion, she deserves the title match just for pinning her in a non-title affair.
Okay, but this is what we're talking about too, with the women's division, and not being so straightforward, where it's just 2 wrestlers in contention all the time in wrestling, and there has to be some deviations and plot, like there is in the male division, where we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know who's going to wrestle all the time, and everything like that. So they can we're eventually going to get to a point, whether it's 5 years from now, 2 years from now, where there's WWE men and there's WWE women.
What do you mean?
Where
the men and the women become separate brands?
Yes.
As opposed to Raw and SmackDown?
Right. There's Raw and there's SmackDown. Maybe there's Raw R for the ladies. I don't know. But I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. But maybe Monday Night Raw for the men, Tuesday Night Raw for... we're going to get to the point where this is, ideally I could see them wanting them to have programming on 5 nights a week, and it's separate between men and women, and they're just rolling in the money. And I think that could happen. But for that to happen, they had to legitimize the women's division as much as possible. I think you would agree.
And I think they've done that since last year.
But there's it's progress. They're making progress, but there's still little things they can do. And I think making it unpredictable. Who would have thought your boy would have ended up with the title the other week, and Triple H would have been in the ring, and all that would happen.
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff that has to happen here too. So.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna have to see how that goes. Meanwhile, we also found out that officially it's gonna be the New Day against Gallows and Anderson for the tag team titles. However, this past Monday night, in a non-title match, Gallows and Anderson defeated Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston of the New Day in a non-title affair. So, if you ask me, the momentum is swinging the way of Gallows and Anderson, and that record-setting title reign is in serious jeopardy. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think this is interesting too because it's another thing where do you keep pushing the stars that you have in the New Day, or do you try to build something with these Gallows and Anderson? So it's similar to the Sasha Lynch and the other Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch discussion we were having, or Bailey discussion we were having earlier. So I mean, obviously they're pushing Gallows and Anderson. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't think that's the right tag team they should be pushing.
Well,
but I mean, I understand it.
In all honesty, Mr. Chauvin, who do you think they should be pushing?
Oh God, if I knew the guys' names, I could tell you. The guys in the tight things, and they're biracial, and there's a black guy, and
oh my God,
what are their names? Superhero, Super Smash Brothers.
No,
Mario and Bowser.
No,
they just came up from NXT.
Oh, you mean American Alpha?
American Alpha.
Well, remember they're on SmackDown Live.
They should get traded.
You think they should be traded to Raw?
Come on, I'm not the biggest Gallows and Anderson guy.
I'd probably have to agree, especially with that little stunt they pulled a couple of weeks ago.
Gallows and
making themselves look like retirement coordinators after they attacked the Dudleys.
Oh gosh,
the night they retired.
Disrespectful. I would have put them through the Spanish announce table.
Exactly, but
yeah, Gallows and Anderson, they sound like a law firm, but they're the Trump and Pence of the WWE.
But anyway, another interesting thing that we've been talking about for a while is the best of 7 series between Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yeah, update me on this.
Which, by the way, Cesaro has now won 2 matches in a row, so the score is 3-2.
Oh.
And I think there's a very good chance that your prediction may come true. It may come down to all 7 matches as a Clash of Champions.
Why wouldn't it? What's the harm? What's the harm in going 7?
But I do have one little suggestion to make things a little more interesting. Now I know I'm not one of the writers, but General Manager Mick Foley, you might want to listen up.
Has Mick Foley's daughter gotten the call up, by the way?
No, she's still training.
Okay.
But anyway, here's what I'm thinking. If the series goes to 7 matches, like we think it will, the final match should take place at Clash of Champions. They need to suspend that championship contract above the ring and make the match a ladder match.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because...
like you saying they should do something special.
Right. Because Mick Foley has said all along that the winner of this series would get a future championship opportunity. So therefore, the best way to determine who wins it all is to make the final match a ladder match. And you suspend the contract above the ring. Whoever grabs it gets it.
That's very interesting. I like your idea. I'm also liking this kind of best of 7 thing for other superstars. Like, could you imagine John Cena having to win a best of 7 series to get his 16th title?
No.
Come on. And it's capped off at WrestleMania, the 7th match. I'm in.
It could.
I'm in. You put like what? How many pay-per-views we got until WrestleMania?
Well, judging by the fact that there are now 19 pay-per-views as opposed to 12, let's see, somewhere between probably 7 and 9. So probably 8 or 9 pay-per-views to go.
So isn't that set up perfect for a best of 7 that caps off at WrestleMania?
It could be.
I would like that. I think that's a good idea.
It all depends on what they have in mind for The Undertaker this year. Because, remember, this will be his 25th consecutive WrestleMania.
That's true. Well, I think, we thought Undertaker and Cena initially, right?
Right. But you always said that The Undertaker wanted to end his career at WrestleMania against John Cena. And there have been rumors speculating for a while that it's going to be Taker versus Cena this year. But We don't know.
More likely at WrestleMania, in your opinion, Taker, Cena, or Goldberg, Brock Lesnar?
Probably Taker Cena. Because Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, that already took place 13 years ago.
I know, but the big, the thing with the WWE 2K7 trailer and Goldberg's
But remember,
Goldberg traveling to Suplex City.
Goldberg is only a playable character if you pre-order the game before it comes out in October.
I understand that, but in the video, they had something, in the trailer that Goldberg was in, they had something about how he was entering Suplex City. So a lot of people took that as a hint that he was going to wrestle Brock Lesnar at some point.
Well, we'll have to see how that plays out. Meanwhile, it seems as though the Universal Champion Kevin Owens, his new best friend Chris Jericho, has his own little problems because thanks to a confrontation that took place on the highlight reel Monday night, we now know that it's going to be Chris Jericho against the underdog of the underground, Sami Zayn. Now, if you ask me, this has the makings of an instant classic.
Oh, yeah?
Why
do you think that?
Coming up in Clash of Champions. Because, let's be honest, Sami Zayn is small. He is small. But he, in my opinion, is one of the most extraordinary athletes to come out of NXT since they revamped it in 2013. So we'll have to see where this goes. But I think Sami Zayn has a future, and I think too many people have been egging him down ever since that rivalry with Kevin Owens. So we'll see where that goes.
Also, Jericho's role now is to kind of, help push these guys, right? So
exactly.
Put them through a heck of a match, do Chris Jericho things, say hit me or kiss me, and we'll see what happens.
Or call yourself the king of the world.
Yeah, that's what he's there for at this point.
Right.
So I think it would be great for Sami Zayn to be put in that spot.
Right. But anyway, when we come back, we're going to give you our picks for the NFL and the college games of the week, plus tell you what's hot, so stay right there.
What's hot? We're hot tonight. We're on.